Good morning. Hopefully it's going to be a sunny day today. We're going to go out to the golf course and hopefully not get rained on. And someone should come cut down these trees that are blocking my view. Just kidding. Don't cut down the trees.
All right, one quick thing before we go any farther. I'm going to say the word niche a lot in this video. So some people say niche, some people say niche, and some people like to give people crap about which one's right and which one's wrong. So if you're thinking about doing that, just, don't. What's up, guys? Welcome to my second home, Pumpkin Ridge Golf Club. I know you don't care about golf. I tell you this every week, but I promise there's a reason we're doing this here. It directly ties into what we're talking about with finding your niche, and there's not gonna be that many talks about golf. I'm mostly just using this as a cool backdrop because it's not raining and it's in February in Oregon, and I'm excited about that. So in this video, we're gonna talk about how to choose a niche for your new business or blog, and specifically, we're then gonna talk about how to monetize that niche by using what I call the niche within a niche method. This is something not nearly enough people are talking about. It's the whole reason I've been able to turn Breaking 80, my niche site, into a successful business. And even though it's not something you can necessarily apply right away, it's something to always be thinking about, and it's really gonna help you make money and build your community later on down the road. So with that, I don't wanna waste your time. Let's jump right into it and talk about how to choose your niche. Okay, step number one, you gotta understand the difference between a niche and an industry because most people don't understand that distinction. Golf, for instance. Golf is an industry, not a niche. I made a mistake. When I started my niche site, Breaking 80, it's all about golf, I wrote about everything relating to golf. I talked about the PGA Tour. I talked about equipment. I talked about training and practice. I talked about travel and golf courses. You're doing this all on your own. You're not necessarily writing every day or multiple times a day. So the problem is you're not going to be able to cover any one of those topics in enough detail to get people excited about. Here's the thing about industries. Most people aren't obsessed with an industry as a whole. They're obsessed with subset. They might have an interest in an industry as a whole, but they're obsessed, and the thing they get passionate about is a subset of that niche. So for instance, I could care less about golf practice or the PGA Tour, but what I love is golf travel and seeing new golf courses. So another example, if you're a photographer, you might love camera gear, but hate Photoshop. You might just want to geek out about all the tech stuff, but not be interested in photo editing or any of that kind of thing. So it's really important to understand this distinction between an industry and a niche, because when I started Breaking 80, I wrote about everything and nobody cared because I didn't do a good enough job on any one of those things. So when I decided that I was going to do golf course reviews and just post photos of all the golf courses I've played, all of the other people that loved golf travel came out of the woodwork and got interested in what I was doing, and I was able to grow my audience really quickly. If I was still trying to do a little bit of everything, nobody would care. I'm 90% sure there's no golfers out here, but I keep waiting for someone to just come up behind me and hit me in the head with a golf ball, because I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be out here doing this. Whatever, they're getting some press, right? So to choose your niche, first you gotta pick an industry. I suggest making this something you're interested in. You could start a business or start a blog or a niche site or something about just about anything. But if it's not, even if there's an opportunity in it, if it's not something you're interested in, then you're gonna get bored, your readers are gonna see right through you, and it's a bad idea. Don't do it. Let's see how rusty I am. The green's rolling quick today. Once you've got your industry, my guess is if you're watching this, you probably already have a little bit of an idea of a hobby or a passion or something you like to do that you would like to start a business around. What aspect of that industry gets you excited and makes you say, this is the thing I want to build a business around. This is the thing I want to work on every single day. Once you find that thing, that's when you're onto something. Also, let's mix it up a little bit. Let's go over here. In the fairway. All right, let's talk real quick about what makes a good niche. Let's do this rapid fire. First off, are there other sites around your niche? That's a good thing. Competition is a good thing because it means there's people there and there's probably some money to be made. Second, are people stoked and really happy to spend money on that thing. So this sounds kind of weird, but like with golf, I mean, let's face it, nobody's excited to spend money, but golfers, they'll pay a lot of money on clubs and travel and greens fees and all of those things. Same with photography. A passionate photographer will dump thousands of dollars in lenses and bodies and filters and all of these different things. So if you choose a niche where people are actively spending money and are excited to spend that money, that means there's probably a good opportunity for you to build a business around it. Fun fact, in the year 2000, there was a book that came out called The Top 500 Golf Holes in the World. And this one was one of them, number 6, Witch Hollow at Pumpkin Ridge. I bet you don't care about that, do you? This is where we get into the most exciting part, the niche within a niche. And this is something not many people are talking about, but it's what I found has been one of the secrets to my success. All right, so sticking with the golf theme, you know your industry, golf. You know your niche, golf travel and golf course reviews. Well, how do you niche that down even further, and why would you want to? So let's use an example, and it brings us back to the whole reason we're here at Pumpkin Ridge Golf Club. So one of the big things I've gotten into is trying to play the top 100 golf courses in the world. It's been a quest of mine for the last few years, and it's taken me to some unbelievable places that I never expected I would go. Well, what's happened is over the course of the last few years, I've had tons of people reach out to me and offer to host me at their club, introduce them to a friend that's a member at one of these places, and it's really opened up my network and the amount of people that I've gotten to know. So I started thinking, there's definitely a sub-niche of Breaking 80 readers that are members of exclusive private golf clubs that like to host and show off those golf clubs. They like to travel and experience other places, and most of these people are following me on Instagram, so they also like to geek out about golf in an online forum, in an online community. So realistically, that's probably about 2% of my entire Breaking 80 audience are people that fit in those 4 boxes. So I had this idea, I said, well, what if I found a way to bring all these people together? So I created a community called the 80 Club, and it's for people that are members of private golf clubs, like to host people, like to travel, and like to geek out about golf in an online forum. So what happened? In a weekend, I set up the online forum, I set up a way to pay me, and I opened it up and I announced it on Instagram. And within 48 hours, I had over 50 applications from people that wanted to be part of this club. And over the course of the last year since we started it, we're up to 165 members. So here's the thing. Establishing your niche within a niche isn't something that happens overnight. If you're starting a hobby hacking site, if you're starting a business of some sort, if you're starting a new blog, whatever it is, focus on figuring out your industry and your sub-niche. Start with that, and as you create content, as you put stuff out there, as people start to give you feedback, you're gonna start to identify where opportunities are for that niche within a niche. In my mind, the reason a niche within a niche is so effective is because it's such an underserved market. So previously, there weren't very many good ways for people in all of these different golf communities to connect. So I created an opportunity for them. So say you're into photography, and then you're into HDR photography, but you're specifically interested in doing HDR photography using manual photo techniques. So you don't want to do digital photography, you want to do old school film and figure out ways to do HDR. That is a super small, tiny community. But for the people that are doing that, maybe there's only a few thousand in the world, but for the people that are doing that, if you create content for them, because there's so little out there available, they're gonna eat it all up. They're gonna be like, oh, someone created this exactly for me. So I once heard a quote, I think it was Tim Ferriss, I'm not sure, but it was something to the effect of, if you try and write a book for 1 million people, nobody's gonna buy it. If you try and write a book for 10,000 people, you're gonna sell 1 million copies. The farther you can niche down, the more excited people are going to be to buy. Feels counterintuitive, but in just about everything I've created, that's what works. So let's sum all this up. How do you find a niche and how do you choose a niche? Start with an industry that you're interested in, because if you're not interested, people are gonna be able to see through that, and they're gonna be able to tell that this person doesn't care about this industry. Second, find a niche that you're even more passionate about. So for me, I could care less about the PGA Tour and the pros. I'm interested in golf travel and golf courses. That's my sub-niche. Figure out what it is for you that does that. Third, do a little bit of research just to make sure that there's enough people interested in your niche to make building a larger brand relevant. If you're gonna start a new business or a new blog, there's gotta be enough people that are relevant. The niche within a niche method only works if you have enough people to choose from the beginning. And finally, figure out how you can go even smaller to reach a tiny subset of those people that are gonna be so excited about what you've created that they're just willing to give you money. And it's never that easy. You have to do a good job. You have to put in a lot of hard work in order to make it happen. But if you can start with a solid idea and concept, it makes it a lot easier. And we all like easy because there's not a whole lot that is easy when it comes to building a business. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit subscribe right there. I think it's right there. Give us a thumbs up. We post new videos every Thursday, and if you're interested in building a business that allows you to leave your job and travel or work from home and do something you love, check out Location Rebel Academy. I truly believe it's one of the best communities out there for doing this type of work, and I would love to see you inside. So with that, I got some golf to play because I'm out here, so I might as well enjoy the fact it's not raining, it's kind of warm, and let's have some fun. So I will see you guys next week. You see this, ladies and gentlemen? This is what we call sunshine. And I haven't seen this in a long time. Basking in it. Need a little vitamin D in my life.